All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We've got the grand finals here of the Warty Mondays Cup this week, and it's good to see these two back in action. Let's see how Mr. I don't adapt to the patch, but I'm the best Protoss player of all time, according to some people. MAXPAX in the top right side for Sidestorm Gaming, up against Team Liquid's CLEM, the fastest Terran in the world. Fastest StarCraft player of all time, many would say. And we're going to be casting this grand finals. It's a best of 5, guys, and you can see it's on the old map pool. So not using those TLMC maps that are potentially going to be joining the ladder at some point in the future, as a lot of our other tournaments have been on recently. But still cool to see. And it's really interesting for me to see how things have adapted, because hearing from CLEM, other Protoss and Terran players, they've said Storm is still pretty surprisingly good against Terran. Some people have said it's weak against Zerg. I don't know if I've fully seen that in action yet. Sometimes, yes. Other times I go, oh, it still seems pretty good. But definitely it's interesting to see kind of where where everything falls at the end of this, as it is an eBay block opening. Nice one. Very popular choice on ley lines for whatever reason. I think I think for CLEM, it's like he got in his own head towards the end of last season. And even at the start of this season, you could see some of it carry over, where this happens when you lose confidence in a matchup, where you would see players start to do things that don't really make sense. And don't get me wrong, I think the matchup was pretty darn Protoss favored TVP in the last season, specifically because like the scouting and stuff. But I think it was specifically extra painful for the Terrans with the hallucinations, feeling like a lot of their trickier builds weren't really working out. And I think there was this such an extreme information disparity between Protoss players using the old energy recharge. Obviously, that's been nerfed with sentry scouting and hallucinations. You know, I think the Terrans started to kind of doubt themselves. And we saw it with CLEM, where he started to sometimes do these attacks where he was a little afraid to commit when he should have committed, but then he would overcommit when he absolutely should have pulled back. And it was weird, because it just felt like his confidence started to take a hit. I hope that his confidence has rebounded with a few of the changes this season, to Storm and Energy Recharge specifically. I think especially a lot of the Terrans just felt like the big thing was that, number one, a lot of their tricky builds would just get scouted by hallucination, which meant it felt like they had less options, number one. Number two, if the Protoss went for Storm on 2 base and delayed their third a little bit, it didn't feel like the Protoss was getting behind for delaying the third. The Protoss was safe against pretty much every all-in and 2 base timing, but then they'd also go, oh, by the way, I've got these High Templar really early in the game, building up energy, and by 8 minutes, they're like, I have 10 Psy Storms available. You know, like a crazy number of Psy Storms. And so the Terran players started to doubt that. But now, you've got CLEM MAXPAX, where I think MAXPAX never owned CLEM. Like, yeah, he's beat him a few times, but it was never like classic. For a little bit there, was kind of owning CLEM for quite a few series in a row. Don't get me wrong, CLEM came back and beat him in Maestros of the Game in the group stage. But overall, Classic had a really good winning rate, win rate against CLEM before this patch came out. And now that the patch is out, I wonder what the matchup is between these two, because I don't think MAXPAX ever was as flexible as as Classic, in terms of like adjusting his build to abuse the energy recharge, and he was never quite as consistent at like rushing Psystorm and that sort of stuff. Now, taking a look at this build, guys, it's going to be a Cyclone Medevac Marine opening, very heavy pressure opening, but there is a Phoenix opening. So if he overcommits and the Phoenix fly out and shoot down the Medevac, catch the Cyclones, kill the Marines, this could be a massive win for MAXPAX. For CLEM, the trick is realizing what he's up against and backing off and not getting overrun. Because if you ever get overrun by Phoenix, there is no escape, dude. I love this constant Adept Shade stuff. I mean, I hate playing against it, but it's really well done by MAXPAX. He's gone 3-gate Phoenix. So 3-gate plus Phoenix, really nice. He's got another pylon that's going to finish at the perfect moment. This feels like a really calculated build for him. And oh, he sees what's going on. I wouldn't mind a recall for him, honestly. Oh, he's got to throw the other shade. Okay, throws both shades. He should be able to keep these Adepts alive, since he tried to get to the right side as quickly as he could. Oh, he loses that Adept. Damn, I thought that one would just get out of there. He's only got 1 Stalker, 1 Adept, and 3 Phoenix. He's building his second shield battery and trying to make more Stalkers. But CLEM, he's actually just going to go for an 8 Marine drop and pull back. Interesting. So he's not committing to the frontal push. He's got 2nd and 3rd barracks. Engineering Bay usually goes down next. Any moment now on that natural. Marine drop's going to poke into the main base. Here we go. This base is walled off, which is kind of nice. Hard to get those Marines in deep. He's going to send 1 Marine as a scout, I guess? Or is this not even a scout? It's a sacrifice. Sees a bunch of Twilight and extra 4th Gateway coming in. Phoenix go after the drop, and they will clean that up very easily. Wow, it's really good for MAXPAX to find that drop, and bit weird the way Clem kind of poked in. I guess he saw the Stargate, realized this must be Phoenix, tried to turn around. There was no getting out of there. Maybe should have just YOLO'd in and tried to at least take a few probes for his trouble. Charge now on the way. Forge is coming in. Question, does he go +1 armor or attack? Since he's going Templar Archives, I'd love to see armor first for the Zealots. If he was going to go Colossus for splash damage, I think attack does make sense. All right, Marines in the natural. 2 more barracks are on the way. Is this a... Oh, it's a 5 barracks on 2 command centers. Oh, great move that by MAXPAX. Gets himself a couple Marines. Very well done. I'm caught not watching for a moment. He's going to move out. This is a fake push, guys. He's going to do a big push, but not right now. He's trying to kind of scare MAXPAX, catch some Phoenix, you know, that sort of stuff. But MAXPAX has already got Storm and +1 attack. Garma's a much better choice here. Three more gateways are building. Make it 4. Gonna bring it up to 8 gateways. So it's 8 gateways, charge, +1 storm. Third base getting saturated on probes. He's on 4 gases as well. Notice the scan sees no probe production. So Clem realizes, okay, he's already cut probes. He knows what's happening. All right, we gotta get over here and take efficient fights. But I think with Storm kicking in, Clem might be in Doo-Doo Town. Then again, the actual gateway army count is like 4 zealots and 2 stalkers. It's not that big a force for MAXPAX. Is Phoenix, can they find value? Well, a few Marines stim to that side. It's only like 4 Marines though, and I think the Phoenix realize they can win that fight. Quick pickup and then immediate drop. The Phoenix is going to go for the rally, which is absolutely the right call. Does pick off a few more Marines, and he's going to go back towards the front. If you could find one of these Marauders, that'd be really juicy. Marine drop goes towards the main base. Clem here. Oh, he knows he's got to get away from these Phoenix. MAXPAX is doing such a good job of tracking his army. And he doesn't know about the storm. Oh man, MAXPAX may land amazing storms. But Clem finds an opening. The probes do try to run away. MAXPAX tries to quickly scramble his army over there to defend. But look at that, he's going to dive the front at the same time. This drop's already doing well. These guys come in, they do eat a bit of a size storm, but that High Templar will go down despite the shield battery. One medevac tries to escape. It gets about 4 Marines out of there. The rest of the double drop in the natural did go down. That's the power of the Phoenix. Is this an overcommitment for Clem? His army is very weak. The medevacs are gone. He's got 1 new medevac arriving. It's a lot of zealots coming in. Clem up 8 supply, taps out of the game. What an idiot, guys. Why would you leave while up 8 supply? Once again, another early leave from these just mentally weak Terran players. I'm kidding, guys. He's on 5 barracks. Let me explain. This whole army is deep in the red and is about to die to Psystorm and Zealots surrounding it. So we've got we got a sentry, full surrounded. Everything here is going to die. He's maybe going to kill one Zealot. There's no escape with the medevac because there's Phoenix overhead as well. He can't focus that Phoenix down in time, I don't think. His best bet here is like focus the Elliott Point Phoenix and then save a few units in this medevac. Problem is he's all in on 2 base. Yes, he killed 15 probes, but the 3rd base is still up. You can make new High Templar, energy recharge them, and MAXPAX is just going to absolutely crush. So keep in mind, it looks like the supply is good right now. Once you lose 4 Marauders, that's 8 supply. The Cyclone is, I think, 3 supply. That's 11. The tank is 3 supply, that's 14 supply. You're also going to lose 8 Marines, that's 22 supply, 24 supply, and the medevac, that's 26 supply. If you knock 26 supply off Clem, you realize, okay, he's actually on like, I don't know, 70, 78, 76 supply. He's about to be way down in supply with no follow-up. He's stuck on 2 bases. He's pretty screwed in this game. GG, well played. Nice hold by MAXPAX and really good harassment with the Phoenix and tracking of the army across the map, making it really hard for Clem to surprise him. All right, guys, MAXPAX, lovely Phoenix play there. And it was an interesting choice. So for me, what was weird is that Clem pulled his Cyclone and Marines home, and then just continued with the Marine drop at the start of that game. Maybe someone in the comments could can share your theory crafting on exactly why you think he did that, because I guess it's a lower risk commitment if your opponent's ready to stop the attack on the front. You don't want to overcommit there. But if you're not worried about Phoenix, I feel like you can always threaten, at least with the Cyclone, because nothing's going to catch you unless there's Phoenix out. And if you think there's Phoenix out, I don't think you want to go for a Marine drop in the main base. That really hurt Clem there. All right, guys. Double gas in the top right side for Clem. representing Team Liquid Well, MAXPAX for Size Storm. He just pulled on gas and then pulled off gas, and then he went back on gas. MAXPAX, what is this wizardry? Is he doing a no scout build? But did he go gas first this game? Feels like he's not mined that much gas. He's doing. Oh no, he did scout. There's the probe. It's harassing. Sorry. I was like, what is this build order? MAXPAX not a big fan of skipping the scout. He'll do it like 1 in 13 games. I feel like MAXPAX is still very much in his like Serral in 2017 part of his career, or 2018 even. Just in terms of like, you can kind of tell he has a comfort zone and he'll usually go back to that rather than focusing on being annoying for his opponent. Like, I think that the more experienced players get, they often focus more on trying to create problems for their opponent rather than trying to create comfort for themselves. Like, if you think of a less experienced player just does the build they feel the best, that they're the best at doing, even if the opponent's like, well, I know exactly how to counter that, I have plans to deal with that, because you do it all the time, right? I think MAXPAX will still choose that option, right? And Serral used to be the same, but Serral, of course, has evolved and adapted to the point where it feels like everything he does has special adjustments to abuse his opponents and make their life as difficult as possible. Like, what was it? Hero did a no scout build and he just like had planned for it. He's like, I think you're going to not scout on this map. And he just did a drone pull, Zergling rush, 12 pull, killed him. These sort of little bits of preparation, you don't see MAXPAX. I think he's so devoted to playing the perfect game himself. He doesn't really put a lot of his brain power towards catching his opponent off guard. And that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. Double Reaper, Hellion on the way. Starport's there as well. Also creates an interesting dichotomy when MAXPAX is playing against like a Dark or someone whose whole style is screwing with their opponent and trying to make it difficult for them. That's going to shade backwards. One Hellion hit goes down, but generally saves himself. And I don't think I think you just build building there. Oh, he's gonna wall off the middle as well. I wouldn't have even bothered, but I guess he doesn't want to get bounced by the Reaper. Oh yeah, and the Reapers can jump in the main is the other problem. That's why you've got a full wall here. Fair call, fair call. The Reapers jump in the main. 3 Reapers, no battery in the main, can do big damage. So CLEM's not really finding anything. I don't know about you guys. When I open 3 Reaper 2 Hellion and they spot it and they wall off, it just feels so bad to me. CLEM and the top guys are good at making this like be fine. He's like, yeah, it's cool. I've got like quick tank production, quick starport, going to Raven, going to 3 barracks. Just this super late command center. And these useless harassment units always feels awful to me. Chess has had world champions with both approaches. Mikhail has the Dark Forest theory. You have to take your opponent and yourself into a Dark Forest and get him lost first. Nice. That's cool. I do like the idea. I mean, I think always there's an element of both, right? Having the ability to do weird stuff, but then also just reset to like trying to find equilibrium, right? Sometimes you throw your opponent off, but it's not necessarily... Oh, watch out, dude. You already lost a Stalker. Great catch for CLEM. Stalkers are expensive, 175 resources down. But I think there's like, sometimes people like simplify it where they're like, oh, so, you know, screwing with your opponent just means going for a big all-in. And the cool thing about Serral is he'll make all these little adjustments to screw with his opponent and make it hard for them. But it's never like looking for one big finishing move. Thankfully, MAXPAX spots the army, does turn away with the Prism. He does have Blink ready. He's trying to make it immortal. He's trying to make more batteries and pylons. He needs to get out front and deal with these Hellions and Reapers right now before the rest of the army arrives. He's trying to chase them down right now, but that allows the army to get in position. I don't know if Cloak ever got made. It did not. The tanks and Banshees and Marines coming forward. 2 SCVs are there to repair. Banshees, a big damage dealer. Don't know why the game's lagging right now. Oh my god, we're in a replay. Why is it lagging? The Stalkers are pulling back right now. There's no... Okay, the battery healing is there in the back. But once these tanks are sieged, up front and center, you are in trouble. Oh, and he's going to focus this new battery down at the front, which means there's only a battery with no energy left. No way to get that immortal in range of the tank. And the sentry gets blasted by this siege tank. Stalkers on the other side do get taken out. Now, these Stalkers are on the other side, and they're cutting off the reinforcement, which is the most important thing in this scenario. The problem is, you built your buildings in your wall off to block the Reaper Hellion. Now that is turned against you because they are vulnerable. Stalkers do take out a tank. It looks like the Prism's coming back here as well. We'll be able to micro this, but at the same time, the Marine Banshee comes in and kills the Immortal. MAXPAX struggling to micro in both places at once. Looks like he wants to warp in more Stalkers over here. Does do some nice hot pickup micro, but he's got to quickly get back and defend. 2 tanks are there, 1 in range now of half of the mineral line. That is absolutely brutal. And dude, what a great follow-up push here for CLEM. Says you can wall yourself in all you want, but if you let me get sieged up at the bottom of your ramp, you're losing so much production, so many pylons, and that's why you just can't deal with this push. Because if you're not losing your production, you're building Immortals safely in the back, you're cutting off the rally with Stalkers, you can imagine this might work out for MAXPAX, but as it is, the Stalkers getting gunned down by the tanks, the Banshee doing really well, the max repair on the tank is really delicious, and CLEM does take out game 2, tying up the series. Alright guys, CLEM in the top right side of the map. Nice usage of what appeared to be a failed 3 Reaper 2 Hellion. And MAXPAX accidentally pauses the game. They unpause. MAXPAX at the bottom left side of the map. Catching that Stalker with the Reaper grenades that first tried to leave the base was really big. I think if MAXPAX managed to clean the Reaper Hellion up a little bit earlier, you can imagine that push that moved across for CLEM. If he has 4 Stalkers intercepting that halfway across the map, picking off 3, 4, 5 Marines before he gets to his base, slowing the push down a bit as well, would be a very different result. This is going to be a 1-Rex expand for CLEM on Tokamak. No, he changed his mind. Interesting. He was going to do it, but then he pulled a worker off minerals on to take that second gas. Interesting. Okay, so CLEM was thinking about it, and he's decided, nope, screw that. It's MAXPAX. This guy doesn't build sentries very often. Let's just go for the double gas. Less economy, more aggression. Where's the tokamak on this map? It's over here. There's one on each side, of course. Map is symmetrical. Unfortunately, there's no Zerg players, so unless a drop flies over it, it's hard to see. It's all spinning around, and there's power and stuff being generated in there. There's also a little Moopy controlling each side's units. I mean, I'm sure the map maker's like, oh no, he's controlling the tokamak, but I'm pretty sure that says code 926, unable to locate source of frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation apparently is an issue in the tokamak generator, guys. Guys, if anyone here is a, I don't know, a power guy, maybe you guys working on fission, help solve that. Gotta help with that mutation phase shift, you know? Alright, Dep's going to come out, intercept this Reaper. He's going to have to jump up and then turn around. CLEM does just that. Second Reaper's on the way. No early reactor. So 2 Reapers into a Hellion. He does go Hellion before Starport, which means he doesn't quite have the minerals for it. You can see he's going to skip... Oh no, he actually prioritizes SCV over Starport. Cancels the extra unit on the barracks to start the Starport. And now he goes for that reactor on the barracks. Reaper jumps back in. Adept does push it away. There is a shield battery on the natural. This was... once again, a scouting build. Twilight Council comes down. MAXPAX could play a standard Twilight Blink opening 4,000 games in a row. He wouldn't get bored. Because for him, the devilry is in the details. It's the tiny adjustments. Oh, he's not building a probe right now. Wasted chrono partially there for MAXPAX. Dep's coming in. Try and sneak around that Hellion and that Reaper, but should be able to protect the SCV. SCV takes a hit and then goes back to build. Hellion takes a little bit of damage, doesn't stop to repair it. Ooh, CLEM, he's got a 1 range advantage. 5 range Reaper, 4 range Adept. Actually, is it 4 range or 3? I think it's 4 range on the Adept, right, guys? Either way, does manage to take care of that. Hellion slightly damaged, but that's it. 2 Stalkers there. MAXPAX not walling off. He's got a probe ready to do it reactively. And there we go, now he does. Now, you actually want to build a shield battery, not a pylon. This is an old habit for MAXPAX. Pylon used to have 100 more hit points than the shield battery, but now that the shield battery is 200, and it has a 29-second build time, it's better to build a shield battery as a block-off because it takes longer to build. So the pylon builds in 18 seconds, the shield battery in 29, and both of them will have enough. I mean, the pylon gains hit points faster because of the shorter build time, but I think with 2 Reapers and a Hellion, you're not really in danger of that pylon going down anyway, or that shield battery, I should say. This could go very poorly for CLEM, guys. Double Widowmine drop's going to fly in there. Oh, that's very bad. It's a lot of damage. He's got to get out of here before Blink is ready. He should be able to. Second barracks is there. Cloaked Banshee. SCVs are being built. Depot's being built as well. Alien Reaper going to try to run in. Ooh. Stalkers. Moving out. Alright. Is Cloak as the follow-up? Now the question is, what scouting is there for MAXPAX? And the answer is 3-gate Blink. It's literally all he's got. Ooh, he gets himself a Reaper. Clem stayed on that side of the map a bit too long. Gonna have to. I would like to rotate the Reaper Hellion around and then dive in for harassment while the Stalkers are attacking, because these guys aren't going to be very useful defensively. You also might want to just set the Widow Mines up at home, ready to try and hit any Stalkers that blink in. Of course, the pickups will be able to evade that with the Warp Prism. Good tank positioning. This next tank should siege here, though. He might put it there. This tank's spawning on the wrong side. Yeah, up here. Okay, he's going to siege it there. Stalkers blink in. They take out a Marine and an SCV. Just a few hit points. Nice trade for Maxi. Hellion Reaper will click in. Third Nexus has started behind it. Templar Archives already on the way, as well as 4 gases. Okay. MAXPAX really believing in that new Psystorm. 3, 4 SCVs go down. 5 SCVs go down. Ooh. Let's see. Siege tank got a shot off. 8, 9 SCVs. 10. 11. Alright, this is massive damage. MAXPAX picking Clem apart with those Stalkers. Hellion Reaper doesn't really do anything. Cloak Banshee needs to do big damage, but there's an Observer right there! There's an Observer right there! Oh no, he's only going to get like 3? 4? Okay, 5 probes for a Banshee. That's not good at all. Stalker Drop's still there in the back. He's not even fully covered against it. He could redrop and just pick off SCVs right now. Remember, you can't use surveillance mode without revealing the Observer. Stalker Drop's going to go right back in. Yeah, he's not covered against it. I mean, the tank... Okay, the tank kind of covers. Does lose one of these Stalkers. Kind of unnecessarily. Another 3 SCVs going down. And Clem, he's a bit triggered right now. He's not doing too well. He does get up to 9 probes now. This second Banshee coming in and killing 4 more to stack on top. He's in a really awkward spot. Oh my gosh. And now he's trying to push with 3 unsieged tanks and a medevac A moving. It's really awkward for Clem. He's kind of just lost his cool. This does not look like a calm and measured Clem. This looks like a desperate Clem. I think we're going to see a boy pool. Yes, we are. He's got a 4th and 5th barracks there. It's all been spotted. I don't think any of this comes as a surprise. No, the Stalkers. What? What did he do? MAXPAX just left his Stalkers in the middle. He's going to recall this Prism now as well. I don't know what just went on. He's got Storm almost ready. He does have 3 Stalkers inside, but he's got no High Templar. I don't know if he realizes that Storm's ready. Okay, he's made a High Templar now. It's in the Prism, but he needs the energy recharge. I think he's been too good on his Chrono Boost. He doesn't have any energy for recharge right now. The tanks are coming forward. The Immortal's going to get some juicy shots, but it shoots on the tank that is there. There we go. Nice hot pickup. The Immortal doing amazing damage. And, dude, I mean, he's just too far ahead. Clem got absolutely rinsed in this opening. Reaper Hellion couldn't find damage. And then the Stalker harassment just found way too much rotating through that main base. Big mistakes for Clem and just excellent play for MAXPAX. Too easy in game 3. Alright, guys. Liquid Clem in the bottom right side on his last life as we go on to Pylon. And him and MAXPAX, man, their games are so brutal, aren't they? It's so interesting because it kind of reminds me of a less timing attack, but equally brutal, just based off of like the micro and the multitasking version of like, you guys know when you watch GSL, sometimes the games are like brutally short and one-sided. And you're kind of like, oh, that's very different to when you've got these like international tournaments and it's like Serral versus Maru and they're playing these big late games and Serral versus Classic and stuff. But you watch GSL and there's sometimes whole seasons where like 80% of the games are just dudes wrecking each other in like a lot of 7 to 11 minute games. Very rarely going longer. MAXPAX and Clem often have series like this where they just take turns bopping each other because they're both so good at taking advantage if they get an, you know, they get an opening, and they're both very, very quick. I do hope we get a back and forth kind of early game where one of them does damage and then the other fights back and it goes this way and then that way, and then we get like the mid and late game kind of brawl. But it has felt a little bit more like it's one player runs away with things very quickly. Cybercore goes down, Nexus follows it, he cancels the Zealot. Of course, the Zealot was just in case he came across an engineering bay down there. Hey, second depot traps the probe. Because you're trapped in here with me, mate. Second SCV has to get pulled, of course, to win that fight. Factory has gone down. It's going to recall this. I don't like the recall that early. I think it's better if you rotate around the back, let your shields regen, and then at about 2 minutes and 3 seconds, you recall from back here somewhere. Because that means Clem will usually rally his Reaper in this direction. You can bait him out, and then you still get away with the recall, but it just wastes the Reaper's time, which means you can send this first Adept directly across the map without the Reaper getting in to punish you very much, right? Because if that Reaper's, say, 6, 7 seconds delayed, then your second Adept is already well underway by this point, and you can maybe risk that. I mean, you probably don't want that. That's still a bit of a window, especially here on Pylon. Maybe on a bigger map that makes more sense. On this map, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, the second unit gonna take a while. He's also not chrono boosted the second unit. He's been using more chronos on probes. I remember all the players used to do quite a bit of double chronoing their gateway units, but good to see a bit more focused on probes these days. And I think we'll see a chrono on that as well, yeah? Or does he save it all for Blink now? Might be saving it for Blink. Fair call. I guess that's it. I don't really open Blink very much, guys. I think it's an opening for skilled players who have incredible mechanics. So if your name's Hero, your name's MAXPAX, parting back in the day, it's a good idea. Clem tries to time the grenade to save himself. Doesn't quite get it. Just a slight bit too late on that grenade. So hard to time that. Medevac on the way. 2 Marines building. Especially, you know, if you're playing cross-server. This one's on Europe, so it's more reasonable that he might be able to time that perfectly. You've got to have the grenade go off at the exact second that the Adept Shade finishes, so it can't attack you. And you also need the grenade to be between you and the Shade of the Adept. So you want to hold position on top of the Widow Mine, or like just past it, so the Adept will come in, the Adept's there, Widow Mine's there, Reaper's there, and you get bounced in opposite directions. And it's the only way to survive in that scenario. It's something which most players can almost never pull off, but it's kind of funny to have those extreme little skill trick shot things that are technically possible, but even the best struggle with. 6 Marine, 1 Mine drop. We've got tank and Viking building behind it. Oh, that's the second tank even. Super aggro follow-up. Clem right now just wants to keep MAXPAX busy, find some damage. Widow Mine's going to be able to burrow. Oh, and he keeps retargeting the Widow Mine. Great retargeting. Gets rid of a Stalker there, as well as forcing the probes to split. Gets rid of 4 probes and a Stalker. 2 Stalkers in total have gone down, and now the push comes. And look at that. The second tank's about to pop out. Extra Vikings and Marines. Dude, this is a brutal push. MAXPAX is building a prism. He's thinking about being aggressive. And once again, Clem's going to catch him with a really quick tank push at like 4.5 minutes. These seem to be Clem's most successful strategy today. The question is, does he have any depth behind this strategy? I don't know. This looks really good for him, though. He depowers the prism, thinking that there's an immortal on the way. It's actually only a prism building out of that robo. And actually, MAXPAX kind of holds this attack really nicely. Wow. If he knew that was a prism instead of an immortal building out of the robo, he might not have focused that. Might have focused the probes. I mean, it's still 12 worker kills, which is pretty damn massive. Got second and third barracks building as well as a bunker of his own. Tanks should be sieging up. Clem, Stalkers are coming, man. You know this. Why are we not sieged? A little slow on the siege up there. He's going to lose an SCV for it. Good tank shots. MAXPAX is not probing. Okay, now he is. Now he cancels probes. He's all in. He's going to try and warp in some Stalkers and just go. He's like, look, it's a 3-gate blink all in. Now he adds a few probes. But he's like, I need to do damage, and I need to do damage right now. The Adept tries to come in. The Stalkers blink forward. Tank gets a couple shots off. The bunker doing really good damage. He will repair the bunker, which is absolutely vital for Clem here. As the Stalkers there. Only like 1 Stalker died then. A lot of them took damage, though. Which means if he wants to repeat that maneuver, it'll be incredibly costly. Marauders and Marines trying to be built right now. Clem actually cancels a Marauder so he can start the siege tank. Stalker's going to go around behind the natural. These SCVs are heavily damaged. Just means to make sure he doesn't get caught. Stalker's going to blink in the main. There is a siege tank ready for it, though. Blinks up there. The siege tank already getting some shots off. Going to force those Stalkers away. Marines and Marauders clean up 1 Stalker back here. The gas survives as well. These Stalkers are now out of range of the tank. Clem, he's moving the tank forward. He doesn't want to get baited, though, and he got baited! MAXPAX comes in and takes out the siege tank. Was that a mistake there for Clem? I don't know, man. The Marines are still doing a lot of damage. He's got a new tank popping out. It's just fighting in tank mode right now, which makes perfect sense because those Stalkers are on top of you. He's got 2 Vikings about to come out, Marines as well. The tank will siege up, forcing the Stalkers to blink forward, but that may be an over-aggressive move for MAXPAX as he loses almost all of his Stalkers, and the Viking is there to punish. The Viking takes out the Prism. Yes, the Stalkers will punish it. Oh, no, they won't. Good pullback. The Stalkers blink after it. Yes, they get the Viking, but they pay the ultimate price. All the Stalkers go down. Units lost tab is 1,100 in favor of CLEM, and MAXPAX is going to tap out. All right, guys, going into the final game 5. Will the knife fight continue, or will someone be able to stabilize? The problem right now for CLEM is that he's just been all-inning on 2 base every game. Oh. Hello. Well, he's going to go proxy. Is it going to be double proxy Marauder? Or is it just going to be a Reaper? We don't really see the single Reaper proxy very much in this matchup anymore. Yeah, I was saying it was a good hold for MAXPAX. I meant it was a good hold compared to the fact that I thought he was going to die to the first push. I thought he was going to completely die. I thought there was no way he would hold on against that first push. This barracks placement, man. Oh, that's filthy. So, like I said, Clem's only had success with 1 range, which has been 4.5, 5-minute tank pushes. That's scary because I think MAXPAX is probably going to play safe against that in future. Just have a bit more gateway unit production, a bit more like forward stalker map control to wail on any of those pressures. And Clem's answer is build my barracks inside your natural. Not having faith in the macro game against Maxi, which is interesting. Very interesting. Thought Clem would have a lot more faith in just playing macro games now and standard 3 racks stim pushes while taking a third, you know? You know, where you just get your stim up and everything. Oh, we can't quite block the Nexus. I think Clem would have liked to block that Nexus. But now, of course, the barracks has been spotted, and MAXPAX can build an extra pylon at the front. Cybercore's almost there. That probe wants to start a shield battery down here. But now the SCV just trying to get a bit of free build time. Onto this bunker. I think the Reaper should rally up here to the north, so he's not blocked by these buildings. We'll see which way he goes. I like the probe staying on the outside, so if the Reaper jumps in the main, the probe can come in and attack this SCV. It's actually really clever. Builds a shield battery and can attack that, pulls the Reaper back, and this is actually a very smart play by MAXPAX. He's happy to sacrifice a probe here, but he buys a lot of time. The bunker essentially has been cancelled at this point. Clem knows he can't get it up. It's going to have the Stalker arrive very soon. Factory is building at home on the high ground. Bunker not being attacked just yet, and the Reaper's actually going all the way home as well to deal with this probe. Starport beginning behind it, as well as a Hellion. More Reapers are building, or at least one more. Reaper cleans up that probe. So there's 2 Reapers and a Hellion out against 1 Stalker, 1 Adept. Is it worth running the Gauntlet? Running in with those units and trying to do damage? It might be. Barracks is going to have to float all the way home. So the question is, Reactor or Tech Lab? Normally people go Tech Lab to get a Cyclone or something. He's just going to build a Widow Mine for now. No add-ons just yet for Clem, as his own command center starts just soon after the Nexus is finished. He's definitely disrupted MAXPAX's build, but has he done enough? He wants some more, and I think it's dive time. Here we go. 2 Reapers and Alien are going to dive in. He's going to try and take out this Stalker. Oh, okay. Committing hard for that Stalker kill, and he will be able to take it out. Oh, he gets away from the Adept as well. Oh, this is where you could stack up some real damage. Gets himself 1 probe, but the Stalker popping should save the day. And a Hellion, it's like he was trying to target the weak one. We would have been better rotating north and trying to target some of these other guys down. But good micro by MAXPAX. 1 Stalker and 1 probe for those Reapers and Hellions I think he's happy with. And Clem, of course, has to use the Widow Mine to guard against the counterattack. Still no add-ons. Tech Lab only now building. I think the delay on the factory production here is worrying, man. I do think that's problematic. I think Clem maybe should just go for a medevac scout to confirm it's not Stargate or anything, but because that medevac's not much use at home. I guess he can use it to repair his SCVs. Second and third barracks on the way. Siege tank has started. Dep's going to come in. There is a Widow Mine there. Hey! Clem's very happy with that. Now he can load up the Widow Mines and go for a little drippy droppy. He's like, yeah, my bunker can protect me. MAXPAX is like, you don't have any units that fight. And Clem's like, ah, crap. I don't, do I? Okay, so now at least he's trapped the Stalker there. Is he going to mass repair, though? He's going to lose a bunch of SCVs. Clem, what are we doing? You gonna repair this guy? Okay, he tells the medevac to heal that guy now. The Marine in the tank will clean this Stalker up. The Stalker does get yeeted down there off the ledge, but only after being very annoying. And look at that, more Stalkers on the front, which means the Widowmine drop doesn't get a chance to move out. Clem being too greedy, trying to move out. He should have just moved out with a single mine drop. He should never have taken the front mine. I think that was a huge mistake for him. Because now he's just pinned in his base way more than he should be. And he does finally sneak out, but this has given MAXPAX time to get 2 bases full. He's got a 3rd gate up. Did just have a slight supply block, but he's out of it now. And I think we're going to see MAXPAX with the Prism and the Stalkers going for some 2-gate pressure. I guess 3rd gate's coming up, but it's pretty late. And he's probably going to take, I guess, a 3rd and a Templar Archives behind that. Clem, bit more of a standard setup. 3 barracks, tank, Raven, all the normal things coming in this time around. And it is Templar Archives before 3rd base. That seems to be the build order Max is favoring. Oh, he goes for the Widowmine drop and he finds nada. Oh, only mining time in 1 probe? Not a successful Widowmine drop. I really think Clem's biggest mistake in this series is going in with Widowmine drops when nothing else is happening. I think he absolutely needs to start only Widowmine dropping when there's other things happening. MAXPAX is too good today. You can't just hope he's not looking, right? Especially not at these stages when Blink's done and he's got 3 gateways up. Oh, he's going to lose a medevac as well. Clem losing a medevac, 2 SCVs, and the 2 Widow Mines for a single probe and a tiny bit of mining time. Starts a 3rd command center. It's not too far behind the 3rd Nexus, but with Storm already on the way, High Templar building energy, it's been a great start here for MAXPAX. Raven goes out to the left. Stalker's thinking about blinking across, but there's a siege tank there. Hey, he still gets himself an SCV. It's a unit. You didn't lose any units. Not bad. Raven's going to try and turret harass, but there's batteries on every single base. No forge just yet, but going to 9 gateways as MAXPAX. Observer going up the north to see if any drops slide out. Now, Max doesn't know what's going on with the 3rd command center in the back. We know about that well-timed 3rd command center. Max is obviously going to be a bit more wary here. Surprised he doesn't feedback that. Okay, he finally does. Move in the direction at least. Ooh, the Zealot warp-in's not great. Run, 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 run. Shield battery saves the day. He doesn't really lose anything to that turret harass. Clem. Oh, and the Raven's going to get caught as well. You're kidding me. MAXPAX knows there's no way past this area or this area if the Stalkers intercept in that point of the map. But he gives up, doesn't chase. If he chased all the way down here, I think he could have caught that Raven on the way home, but doesn't go for it. Now we've got the drop moving out. They're going to have to come from this side, I believe. And then these guys will come out from that side. Here we go. You normally want to force him to blink into these guys, but there we go. MAXPAX should escape. Good reaction by Max. A really good reaction. +1's on the way. There is a forge now. Immortals coming out. 5 High Templars with Storm Energy stacking up. Back on the Protoss side of the map. The 3rd command center finally moving out here for Clem. Biomine trying to fight here. The Zealot Stalker coming forwards. High Templar are moving forwards as well. Spread, spread, spread. Clem, spread. You can't be keeping your units in a big ball against the modern Storm unless there is mass Zealot. There's only a few Zealots. Oh man, you can't be staying this balled up. You're going to get zoned so hard. I really feel like spreading your guys out is a bit better. Zealot drop does come in. Viking Marine shuts it down. Oh, even lands the Vikings. Oh, good play here by Clem. Really good catch. That's massive. Because yes, there's more Zealots coming down the left, but now you've dealt with one of the biggest problems. You've got a Ghost Academy on the way, +1 armor, but Ghosts have 125 hit points now. So they're weaker against Colossus. Actually, I think they're the same against Colossus. They're just better against Protoss in general. Ghosts are just 2 supply, 125 hit points. Ghosts are just amazing. I think maybe they take 1 less hit to die to Colossus now because of the light tag, but they're so much better against everything else. It's definitely a net buff for the Ghost this patch. Tank's getting some good shots. Tommy's moving to the right side, trying to get around this position. 4th base, 2nd Robo Bay, all on the way. Tanks are going to siege. Oh god, he's going to get caught. Clem has to. He's got to spread his units out right now. He's got to get these tanks back, and he's got to spread. Yeah, tanks need to siege. This base, though, the High Templar in range, he's going to have to pull out the SCVs, I think. Zealots come in from the left side. The Bio has to move over there. The tanks are still kind of covering the north, but he needs Bio to defend it as well. He's got to be careful. Remember, the Storm doesn't do that much impact damage, so it's not too bad if you get chipped. But, oh! There was a High Templar on the left! A big Storm Zealot ambush on the left, while Clem's struggling on the right side as well. Oh, great play here with Max. I did not expect a High Templar to waddle over on that left side of the map. He just kind of rolled on up and dropped a big Storm. The Zealots are going to finally find these tanks. 3 tanks going down there. His anti-High Templar right now. As he loses the tanks, it means all he's got is EMPs to deal with the High Templar, but the Storms are all over him. He eats massive Storms. And Clem losing a lot of units there. That's a really good fight for MAXPAX, who's now got Colossus on the way. First one about to pop. He could go for the extended Thermal Lance and the second Colossus. Clem may just need to turtle up a bit more in these situations, and I really think if he got his tanks back in a bit of a neater spread, but MAXPAX made it so hard to get those tanks home, which is why they were in such an exposed position, and I think landing that charge and Storm on the left was really well done by him. Making it so, you know, if Terran micros their units perfectly, usually they win every fight. That's just kind of how Terran works in SC2, but MAXPAX is doing a masterclass on poking and prodding from multiple sides and putting Clem in a position where he can't micro perfectly. He's like, look, you came north, Zealots coming in the south. No. And Clem, he's in a tough spot right now. Storm zones him, gets rid of some Widow Mines as well, I think. Looks like the SCVs, the Biomine will try to defend in that natural. The SCV's going to pull back. You got to watch out for the Widow Mine friendly fire, though. Same time in the north, the push comes in. Another big Storm does land, zoning that army really nicely. Supplies very close to even. I like that he's holding on to his Ghost EMPs until there's an actual pitched battle. I think maybe he should drop those soon on those Archons, but still one Storm in there. Great EMP to deal with that. I love that Clem's being patient on his EMPs. He's got a 4th command center floating out. He's building Vikings right now to deal with the Colossus. His army's just a bit small is the problem. He lost so many Marines and Marauders. He's down in the units lost tab. And of course, MAXPAX has been mining that 4th for a little bit. He's going to move out to take a 5th base. 2nd Forge coming in. And 2-2 has just now started for Clem. Clem survives a scary moment in the game. Is that going to be enough for him? The planetary slowly starts to rise on the left side of the map. Units on the right. He doesn't have many medevacs either, so it's kind of hard to heal. Oh, he's got 6. 6 is enough for now. Zealots do come in, get cleaned up. But uh-oh, Protoss is in between your rallies. EMPs can crush this. He can kill this. Clem on move command. Clem on move command. And he's got no Marauders on the right side. It's just Marines. Dude, I feel like he could have crushed this if he stimmed and EMP'd everything and came in from both sides. But he ends up eating massive Storms, so many Archons, and Zealot Twister in the main base as well. That was such a weird move forward there for him. Where did the Storms come from? I've got to wonder, guys. Oh, there they were. Because they were really far behind. That's what I was thinking. There's no High Templar in this army. It's like 4 Archons and a handful of units. Unfortunately, his right side army, yes, he's got a few Ghosts kind of tanking for him, but his Marines in front, move commanding in. Oh, you can imagine if he'd seen this army coming, and he had the sensor tower, so he kind of should have, but the Zealots were distracting him in the main, and MAXPAX was just all over him in the multitasking, keeping Clem looking in the wrong spots at the wrong time. But if these guys stimmed in from the south, those guys stimmed in from just a few seconds, like 1 second earlier, 2 seconds earlier, dropped EMPs across the Zealots, the Archons. Oh, man. This was such a dangerous move for MAXPAX, especially with those High Templars so far behind, but the Zealots just distracted Clem, and this fight went terribly for him. MAXPAX closes out the series with a dicey push up the guts while splitting him up. Those High Templar coming in for the reserve there. Fantastic Storm damage. GG, well played. MAXPAX takes the series 3-2. Seems like Clem's still trying to find his ground in this new Storm meta with a slightly weaker energy recharge. MAXPAX really has a big belief in Storm, which I find hilarious because they changed Storm and they nerfed the crap out of energy recharge. Most of us thought this would be a Storm nerf in the opening stage. So you'd want to open Colossus more likely, focus on Colossus or Disruptors, and go Storm later in the game. And it was a massive nerf to Storm indirectly with energy recharge getting nerfed. And we thought this was probably a small nerf as well. Yet MAXPAX consistently in this series has rushed for the Templar Archives before the 3rd base and found great success with it. Of course, it's MAXPAX and Clem. They're going to play a lot more series over the next couple of weeks. Be really interesting to see how Clem adapts and how he tries to counter this specific style. Thanks for watching. GG, well played.